If you Google me, well, I'm the only person in the world with this name, Ami Elsius. You're going to end up with very sort of contradictory almost things about me. You might wonder, how come this photographer all of a sudden is a trauma-informed holistic wellness coach and has these communities and programs and social media channels where she talks about trauma healing, narcissistic abuse and spiritual awakening? How did that happen? Well, what you might not know is that for a very long time I have been super invested in holistic wellness. It started already when I was very young. I worked as a therapist for many years, as in energy work, massage, beauty treatments, and I worked as a spa manager for many years and have been meditating since my very, very early 20s. But what really brought this sort of, I wouldn't say change, more of an evolution about, is a toxic relationship that I was in years ago. And getting out of that, how extremely traumatizing it was. First a relationship, then leaving, losing everything, going from bad to worse to total torture and a nightmare. The various things I tried to feel better, to heal, to make sense out of it all, they didn't work. And a lot of these things that you're sort of supposed to do, they didn't work for me. And I kept searching, I kept trying different things until I started to realize what actually worked. And I started to feel this calm in the middle of the storm. So even though my life circumstances were complete disaster and actually went from bad to worse, I started to feel more peaceful. I started to feel this inner calm and security, not just in a meditative state, but in everyday life. I started to have these moments which became sort of periods of total peace amongst it all, and then sort of thrown back in the tornado again. But those things that helped me, I realized that they have the potential to help anyone. And the beauty about these different realizations and techniques is that you do not need money to do it. You don't need any specific circumstances to do it. You can do these things in your everyday life, whatever your situation. And that's the beauty of it, because healing, it should be a right for everyone, not just a privilege for a selected few with a lot of money. And the more I started to work with these things and realize, and then diving into why it worked, I realized that there's scientific proof of the things as well. Leading experts in trauma healing, in spiritual awakening, when it comes to healing from narcissistic abuse, they all pointed at the same direction, the cutting edge of the research, of the science today. When it comes to psychology, when it comes to holistic trauma healing, the somatic therapies. And then through educating myself more, from studying and starting working with clients, I realized that it helps clients as well. And it's so beautiful to see that even the people, maybe even you, that have tried numerous things. You tried here, you tried there. Maybe you get a little relief and then nothing. Often there are superficial solutions, the sort of band-aid solutions, or they only look at one aspect of trauma healing, which is often like talk therapy with a therapist, like a psychologist, or you go to a psychiatrist and you get medication to lessen the symptoms. But it is fully possible to heal holistically, but you need to include mind, body, spirit. We are not just a physical body. We are not just the conscious mind. We are not just, one aspect of it. We're a whole being on so many levels, and we need to address it holistically. We are also social beings as humans, and we need support. We need to interact with other people. We need to feel part of a community and to feel seen and validated for who we are and the experience that we've had, to feel understood and to have that support and guidance for someone that has walked the path that you're on, that knows where the traps are, where the pitfalls are, where the dangers are, and knows what you are about to face and how to navigate it. What things that you can do to calm your nerves, to calm your mind, to get into your body again, to get out of the red alert mode. Those are the things that work. And of course, you need to show up. It's not enough to do it for a week, of course. You need to show up over time. You need to incorporate things, the practices that work for you in your everyday life. So sort of embody that change and make it a part of your life, a routine, just like brushing your teeth. So what are those things, you might say? You talk about trauma healing and how practically, what is it? I myself, years ago, if someone said trauma healing, I was like, what is that even? The things that I'm talking about, as in holistic trauma healing, we do a combination in our programs, courses, retreats. We do this combination of understanding what you've been through regarding narcissistic abuse or childhood trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder, to get an overview of why you feel bad. You have exercises to understand your programming, your triggers, your patterns, sort of get an overview of your situation. We do meditations specifically for self-worth, for trauma healing, for knowing your essence, your core. That your underlying consciousness, awareness, presence, which is unaffected by the trauma, by your suffering, by your story, your identity. How to get, not even get in contact with, because that's who you are, it's more just feeling that, realizing that. We have somatic exercises, somatic meaning body. We work with our bodies because trauma disassociates us from our bodies. We don't feel it. Energy doesn't flow in our bodies. So we work on that as well. It can be through body scanning, it can be through tapping, shaking, fascia stretching, there are dancing, yoga, there are many exercises, and we have those in the programs as well. It's like a smorgasbord. You can pick and choose which ones suits you the best. We have journaling exercises, we have our live meetings, and of course a lot of you decide to do the one-on-one sessions as well to get that personalized support as well for your unique situation, where you can share and talk about what you have been through and get specific guidance on how to move forward. Different from a psychologist that mainly listens and asks you only questions. If you want to, I will also give you some advice on things that you can do, more of the coaching style. So what can you do right now? Let's say you don't have any money, we have very little of it, and you're wary about what you can do, because let's face it, when you feel like shit, when your life is a mess, when you're traumatized and you might be very low on money, to invest that hard-earned money on something that turns out to be ineffective, to be a scam, to be just a band-aid solution, it's not a nice feeling. And then you stand there again with nothing. So I've made these programs, courses, exercises available to everyone. As in, we have a free membership where there's still a lot included. We have masterclasses, we have some meditations and exercises and a lot of articles to read. And then we have the full access membership. It's less than $1 a day if you join up for a year, otherwise slightly more if you just pay by month and you can cancel at any time. And there we have Many different programs and courses, both the current one and all future ones as well, are going to be in there. You have a huge resource library of exercises, of meditations, tools, journaling prompts. You have our workbooks, you have our worksheets, you have our live events. You can chat with other members, you can ask questions, you can contact me directly as well. And you do it at your own speed, at your own time, and you can pick the things that work for you. For instance, my advice to you is to do a somatic exercise and a meditation a day. We have the ones that are very short, from just a few minutes to 30 minutes and more. And it's great if you can do some type of journaling or workbook exercise a day as well, to get in, to sort of monitor what you are doing and also to see your progress. So please come and join us. If you're sick and tired of feeling bad, feeling anxious, feeling worried, feeling stressed out, having self-doubt, having low self-esteem, feeling confused about what you have been through and why you feel the way you do, these things are not part of your personality. They're not things that are stuck in you. It's important that you realize that it's not because there's something wrong with you that you have to do this. You're not broken. You're not faulty. You are just not realizing how beautiful, how powerful you are. The thing is that trauma, unprocessed emotional trauma, when you didn't get the help and the support that you needed, when you didn't know how to shake off the trauma, it gets stuck. And it gets stuck in your body, in your energy field, in your mind, in your subconscious mind. And we are just going to lessen that, remove those blockages, so to speak, so that you can experience who you really are. Because your essence, your natural self, is unaffected by trauma, is unaffected by suffering, your circumstances, what you've been through, what your current situation is like. So when you know how to land in yourself, in your core, and you get to really know who you are, not the trauma, not your idea of who you are, not your story, that is the most beautiful thing that you can experience. Your essence, your natural self. May you be happy, peaceful, and free. Come join us. The world needs your light, your authentic expression, your beauty. Thank you.